Go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Rob Murphy, and I'm the Executive Director here at the Havey Institute for Global Health. And I'm the John Philip Fair Professor of Infectious Diseases and Professor of Biomedical Engineering here at Northwestern. Thank you for taking the time to join us this afternoon for our latest installment of the Havey Institute for Global Health seminar series. Bridging Continents, Social Movements Against Water Transfer Projects for Community and Ecological Health in Western Iran and Colorado. Please take a moment to follow us on Facebook, as well as Twitter and Instagram at #FSM Global Health. In addition, we welcome you to become an Institute member, which is very simple, to receive access to specialized resources and services that support research infrastructure. For more information and to sign up, just visit our website at globalhealth.northwestern.edu/members. Today, we are thrilled to host Ilham Homenfar, PhD, from the Global Health Studies program at Northwestern University for the seminar event. Dr. Homenfar is an assistant professor in the Global Health Studies program at Northwestern University. She's a critical sociologist whose research focuses on the intersections of environment and society and understanding social movements with an interdisciplinary approach. She received her bachelor's degree and a master's degree in sociology from Tehran University in Iran, and her second master's degree is in the cross-cultural and international education program from Bowling Green State University in Ohio. Her PhD is in sociology from Utah State University in Salt Lake. Dr. Homenfar's publications in Persian and English explore social inequalities and problems caused by developmental projects for local communities, the impacts of environmental degradation on society, and the effects of natural disasters on marginalized groups. She also studies gender discrimination, social movements, and ethnic conflicts. She's currently researching environmental justice, water governance, and the commodification of nature and social resistance, emphasizing political economy in the global South and North. She's working on another study about gender discrimination and women's movements in Iran. There will be time for questions following the presentations, and we welcome you to submit them here on your screen in the Q&A feature at the bottom right-hand corner. And now, Dr. Homenfar, I turn it over to you. We welcome you, and we look forward to hearing your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I'm grateful to the Havey Institute for Global Health for inviting me and providing this opportunity to share my research with you today. This talk is part of a large body of my research, has been conducted since 2016. And I have published some articles from this research, and I'm working on my book now. And this is really my pleasure today to be here and talk about some part of my research results. So I would like to share my PowerPoint first. So as you can see, this is about environmental social movement against water transfer project in Iran and Colorado. So the first question can be this: why Iran and Colorado? So the simple answer is I'm a sociologist from Iran working in United States. But actually, the reason is I work in Iran as environmental sociologist for many years in different parts of my country, and I could see people are not satisfied of development projects, dams, water transfer projects, or others. So when I wanted to work about political economy and social impact of development projects, I understood there are two interesting projects in Colorado and Iran working on waters and faced with some environmental resistance or protests. So I tried to conduct a comparative study to understand these social movements in Iran and Colorado in two different political economic systems. So one of them is capitalist democracy, I mean United States, and another one is a different kind of capitalism in global South, Iran, a centralized statistics systems. So that was good opportunity to focus on these projects to understand what's happening for community when we have development projects, but people are not satisfied in two different contexts or backgrounds, actually. So first, water projects, dams, transfer projects, or other projects over water resource are critical component of hydrosocial territories. And what this does mean actually means we have a complex system that's shaped by water, land, people, or ecosystem. So water projects actually shape, in general, when we are talking about hydrosocial territories, it's shaped by socio-political, technological, economic, or environmental interactions. Mostly we are talking about water governance. So when we have development projects, actually we disrupt that hydrosocial territories with new rules or planned or water governance. So as you know, water projects defined as solution to water scarcity or energy needs. But in the same time, we face with many social protests to stop these projects. So my main question is that why environmental movement in Western Iran and Colorado are working to stop two water transfer projects. One of them is Northern Integrated Supply Projects. We call that NISP in Colorado. And another is Beheshtabad Tunnel Project in Iran. So NISP project in Colorado actually is a water project to transfer water mostly from Poudre River to 15 different places in Colorado. It has a dam, water reservoirs, a tunnel, and Northern Water in Colorado is responsible for this project. So we have some protests or resistance in Colorado against this project. And the main group is Save the Poudre. There are a group of environmentalists wanted to stop this project because they believe this is a threat for environment and community. Another project in Western Iran is Beheshtabad Tunnel Project over Beheshtabad River. It is supposed to transfer water from Beheshtabad River to central Iran for agricultural use and human consumption. It has exactly like NISP, dam, water reservoirs, tunnel, and Ministry of Energy is responsible for this project. So in Beheshtabad project, we have some protests too. People believe this is a problem for environment and their own community. And the main group is fighting with this project is Zagros Mehraban group. Mehraban in Persian means kind. And Zagros is the name of mountain in this area of Iran. So they are trying to make connection with nature, even for their own name. So when I wanted to understand what's happening in Colorado and in Iran, I conducted a qualitative research. So gathering data from Iran when I was living in the United States was really difficult. If you have questions later, we can talk about that. But in general, I had interviews with environmentalists, stockholders, local farmers, water and natural specialists, and local managers and project managers in Colorado and in Iran. Also, I focus in some documents related to these projects and also environmentalists. For example, for NISP final environmental impact statement, fish and wildlife mitigation and enhancement plan, reports in NISP site has a NISP has a big site, and you can have access to many, informations, data, or reports related to this project. Reports and studies in Save the Poudre sites, that group wanted to stop this project. And also City of Fort Collins reports on final environmental impact statement. So for Beheshtabad, I focus on environmental assessment studies, evaluation report by the parliament, some documents, letters, petitions, and also Telegram page. Iran has a different political economic system. In Iran, environmentalists don't have permission to have organization or works. So Telegram page helping not only for this environmental movement, for other movements, because people can hide their names, be in that Telegram page and works. For example, for that environmental group, environmental page, Telegram page, they have more than 4,000 people members that every day can exchange information about the project and the negative impacts of project actually. So to understand my perspective and theories about this project, first I don't want to share with you guys more theoretical perspective, just some specific concept. Marketization of water. Carl Polanyi and David Harvey's focus on this story actually. If market expansion into nature, we will have environmental degradation and social dislocation. So society tried to protect itself. So now we have environmental social movements. This is the process. So marketization of water emphasized in this when we treat water as a commodity. So now we are living in the time of neoliberalism, that is a specific kind of capitalism, try to market deregulation and reduce state intervention, and also the commodification of public goods, including natural resources like water. For example, we are in the process that water is not naturally a commodity like my clothes, for example, convert to some things for buying, selling, and have a specific price. So this perspective, marketization of water is a focus on profit-driven development over social and environmental well-being. So to understand what's happening in Colorado and Iran, the first question, why we have these projects in Colorado or in Iran? So my interviews and study of those documents helped me to understand there is a discourse of development for both projects. For example, they defined needs for future development of Colorado, supports the growing population and economic growth in northern Colorado. So they believe this has a lots of economic benefits for this state and have job, in the future will have job, business, and in their ideology for this project, they believe we have excess water. This is really main concept for this discussion today. They believe we have excess or extra water. So why we waste them? As in their website, sometimes they mention, is wasting to Nebraska. So we are going to manage that and use that for something's good, for Colorado, for other places. We have the same perspective for Beheshtabad in Iran. They believe this project is for sustainable development. So we have water scarcity in Iran. So this project proposed as a solution for industrial, agriculture, and human consumption that we need in central Iran. So it's caused a lots of economic benefits, jobs, and also they believe, okay, we have some waters, wasting, for example, going to Persian Gulf, so why not? We use that for development in our own country. So even in some examples in their documents, you can see this emphasizing on economic benefits. For example, they believe NISP will create 13 to 30 million annually from new recreation activities. When we have transfer water project, actually we need dam. Behind of that dam is a lake now. And so we have a lots of recreational activities. Also, they believe they will create 500 local jobs during construction, boosting the northern Colorado economy. Also supplies 13 billion gallons of water annually, saving 80,000 families. The same in Iran. This is a part of actually sustainable development for central Iran. They believe there isn't any environmental degradation for society. And even in National Fourth Development Plan of Iran, they believe this project help our economic situation. So why not? This is really good for both society, for Colorado and Iran. But actually, many people disagree with all data, environmental studies, and this perspective. So environmentalists in Iran and Colorado try to challenge this discourse. So the project conducted according to discourse of development, and environmentalists try to challenge this hegemonic discourse and frame collective actions against that according to their own narrative. For example, in Colorado, an ecologist said me in an interview, if you look at it, water, through their eyes, it is extra. If you look at it through my eyes, no, it is not. It is working to revitalize the river. A member of Save the Poudre, that environmentalist group want to stop NISP, mentioned NISP meaning of excess water is any water in the river that is not being used for economic purpose. So in general, opponents believe that transferring water from the Poudre River will disrupt the river's current situation and is a serious threat to life quality and health. One of them mentioned, Poudre River is a working river. Let's not work it to death. So working river means already 60% of water of this river went for agricultural use or industrial use. And now another 35% of this water for NISP. So this is really a problem for aquatic plants, animals, or ecosystem in this area. So we have the report of Fort Collins, City of Fort Collins. City of Fort Collins disagree with this project. They mentioned why the Poudre River has been a working river for over 150 years. The additional annual average diversion of water from the river by the NISP will have significant environmental impacts that are only partially addressed in final environmental impact statement. Some things that repeat by Iranian environmentalists and American environmentalists is those environmental studies for NISP and in Iran don't follow correct data, or they don't want to pay attention correctly to environmental degradation. So they don't believe in environmental study because NISP already had environmental studies and pay more than $60 million for that. But environmentalists believe they don't use correct data. We have the same in Iran. In Iran, environmentalists believe there is no excess or extra water. This excess water, one environmentalist mentioned, this excess water is actually water that belongs to river, nature, and water-dwelling organisms. Another mentioned, they are very organized. They are word-making. They have presented a false word to community, excess water. So both of them don't accept we have excess water. This water actually belongs to river, to ecosystem. But one environmentalist during an interview discussed about some concept that help us to understand what is marketization of water. So she mentioned the river is for people. for everyone. Some people have water rights, but it is for all, even you can use this water. It is for all animals and nature. But see this point, when they build a dam or transfer projects, the water is not for us anymore. It is for the group that controls and manages the projects. It is for whoever can buy this water. So water is not for all anymore. This is that process I mentioned about commodification of water. A public goods like river is going to transfer to a private property. But in general, the reason for environmentalists in Iran and Colorado to stop this project, first, environmental degradation. So in Colorado, they believe this is a problem for water quantity and water quality. So after this transferring, we have a lots of problem for ecosystem and also socioeconomic problems. For example, social inequalities. A city like Fort Collins, the degradation of environment is for them, and other places are getting benefit. This is a kind of environmental injustice, actually. And also agricultural economy. They are buying water rights from farmers. And according to documents, 100% of this water is for urban use, not for agriculture. So in the future, this is a big problem for agricultural economy of Colorado. In Iran, situation is worse. This is many years we have problem for water. And now environmental degradation of water dams or water transfer projects are serious. The main reason is droughts and ecosystem. Because in west of Iran, we have even Beheshtabad River is resource for Karun River. Karun River is the biggest river in Iran and it is in danger now. So they believe they cause a lots of problem for water resource in Western Iran. And also, you know, we have dust storms now because of drought and a lots of illness and problem for people. Regarding socioeconomic problem, in Colorado, NISP is buying water rights. In Iran, they are taking water right of people. So we face with a kind of disposition of water rights of farmers and also their lands. So some things happen in Iran, we can say there is a big problem for livelihood of people. We define environmental movement like movement for gay rights or women as identity movement. But in Iran, it makes with economic issues. So we have a lots of serious protests in Iran because people are losing their livelihood or jobs or other things. But reaction of the government is different. For example, in Colorado, people are going to court. In Iran, people have protests and court is not independent. And so we have suppression against people. Several people were killed in protest for their own water rights. So because of that, environmental movement in Iran is more radical than some things we have in United States. So we have these social movements in two countries because of environmental health. NISP threatens to degrade the Poudre River ecosystem, removing more water with damaging aquatic life and the river's ability to revitalize itself. In Iran, Beheshtabad is a risk harming the Beheshtabad River and downstream region like Khuzestan province, threatening water quality and quantity. But this is a problem for community well-being too, because it has negative impact for quality of lives, economy of farmers and local communities who rely on these rivers for their livelihoods. Something regarding Iran is important. This water is transferring from Chahar Mahal and Khuzestan provinces to central Iran. Central Iran, most of cities are industrial city and Persian people are living there. But in Khuzestan and Chahar Mahal, we have Arab minorities and also Lor or Bakhtiyari people. So this is a kind of environmental justice, or sometimes I believe this is like environmental racism, actually. So in general, water transfer projects are seen as tools to commercialize water at the expense of community health. So far, these projects are not complete, but so far, billions of dollars exchanged between different organizations because of these projects. So this is a method to making money or exchange money. And also, we talk about excess water or extra water, that we believe this is common water for nature and all people. This is free water, actually. When they transfer this water to urban area, now those water has price now. This is a kind of commercialization or marketization of water. So environmental degradation is the main reason for environmentalists in two different political economy systems to stop this project. This project disrupt ecosystem and hydro-social territories, leading to environmental harm that directly affect economy, community health. Also, the community health inequalities. Neoliberal policies often prioritize industrial and urban development over rural or marginalized communities. This creates a health divide where access to clean water and healthy environments is restricted for vulnerable population, increasing rates of illness and poverty. And also mental and social health. The threat of losing land, livelihoods, and culture ties to water sources causes significant stress, anxiety, and social disruption. Of course, this issue is really serious problem in Iran, but it doesn't mean people in Colorado are in the safe zone. During one of my interview with a professor in Colorado, he started to cry because he believed they don't have any power to stop this project, and this project is a serious problem for their environment. So movements in both regions highlight how water transfer projects destabilize communities, eroding their sense of security and identity. So we can say this environmental movement actually is a resistance to market for health protection, advocating for sustainable water management that prioritize community and environmental health, promoting the idea that healthy ecosystems are essential for healthy communities. As Polanyi and Harvey argues, market expansion into nature results in severe social and health dislocations. These environmental movements are countering neoliberalism by emphasizing that health must come before profits. So if we look at these projects and social movements, we can see two different logic behind each of them. For example, for projects, I believe we have market logic. Market logic means water transfer projects are justified based on economic growth, industrial development, and profit. Proponents argue that transferring water to urban centers or industries is more economically valuable than leaving it for agriculture or ecological purposes. But health logic, some things that environmentalists are following that, emphasizing that importance of sustainable ecosystem and community well-being. Water is seen as essential for the health of nature and human communities, not merely as an economic resource. In general, this clash highlights the fundamental differences in how water is valued as a commodity under market logic or as life-sustaining resource under health logic. So, as I mentioned, in Iran or Colorado, because of different political economy, we have different identity of environmental movement. In Iran is really radical due to state separation and threats to livelihood. In Colorado, we have capitalist democracy. Resistance to NISP is challenged through civil society and legal system. When I was gathering my data, there were, environmentalists. They were ready to go to court. Recently, after going to court, that was not good result for environment. So maybe they change their policy or strategies in the future. And I hope I have this opportunity to study this still. But in general, regarding similar thing, environmental movements in Western Iran and Colorado reveal that while political and economic contexts differ, the underlying concerns about water transfer projects are similar. These movements advocate for stopping of projects that commodify water and harm communities, recognizing water as human right and an ecological necessity, protecting hydrosocial territories from market-driven policies. So, by understanding their shared struggles and unique strategies, we see a global movement for environmental justice that transcends borders. So, because of different position they have and political economic system, they have different strategies, tactics, in the same time similar strategy. I don't want to talk about them because it takes more time and we need different meeting for that. But if you are interested to know more about these strategies, tactic, or how mechanism in Iran and United States working for marketization of water, I suggest you look at my paper already published. This paper is about marketization of water, environmental movements, narratives, and common experience on water transfer projects in Colorado and in Iran. This study finds that while some outcomes might be the same in Colorado and in Iran for achieving the marketization of water, the means that the state or market use to achieve those ends are different. So here I'm talking about coercive marketization in Iran and consent for marketization in Colorado, two different policy of the states actually. And this is really important if somebody wants to rethink about neoliberalism, because in Iran, state and capital are deeply intertwined. So it shows the role of a state for neoliberalist perspective in water resource. Also in another study, another articles, I'm talking about, frankly, my dear, I don't want a dam. This is a slogan for environmentalists in Colorado, actually. So I'm showing environmental movements and shared strategies in different political economies. I use Gramsci, Antonio Gramsci's theory for social movement, and show why Iranian environmental movement has a different face. However, they have the same strategies in some ways, but because of the situation of Iran, this is more radical. And they are going to join to other social movements in Iran, for example, women's rights or other things. And if you are so sensitive or like to know more about social movement in Middle East, maybe this article might be interesting for you, because I apply the typical stage of social movements in Western narrative, emergence, coalescence, and institutionalizations, 3 stages for social movement, to this specific environmental social movement, to show how each of these stages does or doesn't play out in the case of Iran. I show Iranian movement because of the nature of the state we have in Iran, not a democracy, capitalist. cannot have institutionalization as a stage for social movement, but it still is working very well and it is successful. This social movement could stop that project for 16 years, and this is really a successful social movement. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm ready for any comments or question if you have.
Well, thank you very much, Ilham. That was a fascinating discussion. I was wondering how Colorado and Western Iran were going to be in the same presentation. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the Q&A box and I will ask them to Ilham. I'll start with some questions. Obviously, water management is getting more and more attention as climate change causes more droughts and lack of water resources, especially in fast-growing states like Arizona in the West, where they have a big water problem, and California, which is constantly, but also where we work in South Africa, there was recently a 5-year drought that almost paralyzed the city of Cape Town. So the future is going to require some drastic changes in water management. And where do you see this whole thing playing out with that tension? In the United States, anyway. I don't know anything about Iran, but
Even
it
in
sounds like they're a little bit tougher on the protesting of the dangerous or the harmful projects. But I mean, it's going to get worse in the United States. They're talking about like even making, taking water from the Great Lakes and moving them out of the Great Lakes. I mean, some very crazy ideas. What do you think will happen?
So I believe, I teach disaster and society in Northwestern and also environmental justice. And one popular topic for us is about wars in future for water resource. Now in Western United States, we have many conflicts regarding water issues, particularly Colorado River, and also, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, California in the future will have many conflicts regarding that common water resource. In Middle East, situation is even worse. We have many dams now, for example, in Turkey, cause a lots of problem for south of Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. And in the future, maybe we have some wars for water, not anymore for oils, many. So this is really problem in center of Asia, even in Africa, the conflicts between Ethiopia and Egypt, for common water resource. So it is going to be worse and worse in the future until we find a solution to manage this. These environmentalists have alternative. They believe first we should change our perspective to water. So we shouldn't see water as a method or, a tools to make more money or benefits, and bring all people in equal power for decision-making process. So in Iran, more than Colorado, but even in Colorado, people don't have this power to decide about their own water resource. So some things we suggest for that is we have all people in the table to talk about their own alternative and, management of their own water resource and land. So yes, this is a big problem, and both projects emphasize these. NISP and Behesht Abad has a problem for climate change too. If you go to Save the Pooder sites, they have some studies. And Save the Pooder group, most of them are professors in Colorado State University or educated people that already work about this river and ecosystem. So I believe their studies are really valid to look at that and see how much these projects cause environmental degradation, not only in local level, in global level, actually.
Yeah, no, it's obviously going to get worse. I know there's projects like there's a big project in Michigan right now on the Grand River, which goes through Grand Rapids, which is the biggest city in the western part of the state, about removing all the dams in the river.
Mhm.
So the dismantling of these dams, do you think that's going to be more of an answer to or some way to fix things?
You know, there is a letter from environmentalists in Iran to Supreme Leader. They mention, if you don't stop this project, we will have another revolution. They use the name of revolution for that.
Wow.
That is really strong. So I believe people step by step can understand that. If people in power don't want to understand their, reason to stop these projects, maybe they do different things. So I believe we need more than this. We need connection between these social movements in Global South and Global North, because this is the only weapon maybe we have to stop these projects. These projects support with strong companies. I could remember in Colorado, the manager of this project, he was really awesome person, mentioned to me, nobody can stop this project because $1 billion we have for this project. And unfortunately, in capitalist system, money speaks. But environmentalists mentioned they waste those monies and going to destroy our river. We don't let them. We should see. I hope these people, because we don't have, people, environmentalists in Colorado mentioned that we don't have money and we don't have power. So the only things is we make connection between environmentalists or environmental social movement first in our country, then in our region, and maybe in global system. The only things I know as environmental sociologist is this. Otherwise, the result of act of politicians and companies are not good for our health or environment.
Are you familiar at all? I hope I'm the only one I'm asking questions, but it really interests me, the water management. Do you know anything about Hydro-Quebec? It's the water management system of the province of Quebec in Canada. And it produces an enormous amount of energy, which is sold throughout Canada and into the United States. But now it's under criticism, of course, for the reasons that you talked about. But it's such a major part of the economics of that province, which is otherwise a little bit on the fragile side in terms of its economy compared to Ontario and some of the Western provinces. Are you familiar with it at all?
No, not with
No.
this case. I'm familiar with Dr. Baki research on water resource in Canada and Wales, England. And that was really interesting because she mentioned in neoliberalist time, we don't have only privatization of water. We had commercialization and commodification. And even sometimes the government is doing some things, but for money, exactly like the case in Iran. But your some things you mentioned is really interesting for me. I'm going to search about that. Thank you.
Okay, if anyone else has any questions, I think we can bring the meeting to a close. I want to thank you very much. I have some prepared closing comments here. Thank you very much for your insight and expertise today, and thank the audience for joining us and asking, or I thank myself for asking the questions. We invite you to join us with our next Institute for Global Health seminar taking place virtually via Zoom on Wednesday, February 5th. The title of that is No Praxis Without Struggle, Confronting Othering Thought, Relanguaging Health Circumstances in Medical Settings, presented by Charlene Mitchell, Dr. Charlene Mitchell, also from the Global Health Studies program here at Northwestern. You can register via our newsletter, Planet Purple, and our social media pages. Again, thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank our speaker again. We're glad to have you come, participate from Evanston. Recording of the webinar will be available online, will be shared via our newsletter, and this concludes today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.